YouTube, how is it going? I hope everyone is having a great day. Today, I have a new camera, and that camera is the ZV-E1. Today, I want to compare the ZV-E1 to my A7IV. This video is not scripted, but I do have some notes that I want to mention. So for starters, I want to mention some of the features that stuck out to me. So the first feature that I noticed when I turned on the camera was the screen interface. The big difference from the A7IV to the ZV-E1 is that the ZV-E1 has all the text pushed outwards, whereas the A7IV has everything kind of cluttered in together. The next one is the tally light. The tally light is one of those things that it's just a small detail, and it's not something that is gonna make or break someone buying the camera, but it definitely is nice having it so that way you can tell that you are recording. Granted, the A7IV does have the red outline just as this one does as well, but the red tally light does help it a little more. Again, it's not something that's gonna make or break the camera, but it is something worth mentioning. The next one is dynamic stabilization, which is a big one. This feature is not in any other camera that I'm aware of. Dynamic stabilization pretty much crops it in a good amount. I would say probably around 2 times of what the focal length is. But you do get great footage. I do think that there's times to use it. I personally don't think that I will use it a lot though, because there is some jittery movements when you're doing panning from left to right. Now when it comes to straight shots or straightaway walks, it does a great job, but again, not every situation will I use the dynamic stabilization. Another big one that I really liked is the imported LUTs. So now I'm able to create a LUT and import it onto the ZV-E1, which is great. I get to see what the image is going to look like because I am able to see a more finished product. The last thing that I did find to be amazing was the low light capability. This has dual gain ISO, and it's able to go up to 12,800 for the dual gain, and it's great. I love it. Again, the A7IV is great as well. It has a dual gain ISO, but I don't think it's confirmed by Sony, while this one is, and the low light capabilities are amazing. There's no denying that. Some of the features that I won't be using are cinematic mode. So cinematic mode pretty much burns these black bars onto your footage, which is great if you don't know how to add those black bars, or you want something quick and easy, then this might be a feature that you'll use. But personally for me, if I want to add the black bars, I want to be able to take them off as well, because sometimes I'll be shooting for YouTube, but then I want to make a vertical format for Instagram and I have those black bars, so I have to crop in even more, which loses more image quality. Another one is the onboard mic. So right now I do have a VideoMic NTG on the ZV-E1, which is a great, fantastic mic. I have no problems with it, and that's kind of the reason why I won't be using the onboard microphones, because I already carry an NTG mic, which is a really great mic. I'll put the link down below in the description if you want to check out the mic. But the onboard mic is a good mic. I would say it is better than my A7IV, and I did have an A7III and A6400 before, and this mic definitely outperforms those. Another thing was the skin softening effect. It does come on the camera standard, so you do have to turn it off. Make sure you turn it off. Do not use soft skin effect, please. It just degrades your footage. Just put some makeup on or something. And the last one is framing stabilizer or stabilization. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's pretty much where the frame follows you around and it crops in, but it really does degrade the image. And instead of getting 4K, I would assume you're getting 1080p, which is not something that I'm really looking for. If I do want to do framing stabilization, I could do that in post, and I could do that on my A7IV because it has 33 megapixels. So again, that's another one that I won't be using. Before picking up the ZV-E1, I was looking at the FX30, which by the way is great value for the price that you're getting, but there were some things that pushed me towards the ZV-E1. The ISO performance is a big one because the FX30 comes in at 800 and 2500 dual gain ISO, which is similar to my A7IV, whereas the ZV-E1 comes in at 640 and 12,800. Again, it's a no-brainer. I already have something similar in the A7IV in terms of dual gain ISO. I did want something different. That's kind of the reason why it pushed me towards that. There is a lot of times where I will be able to bring light into the situation, but for those moments that I just can't bring any light, the 12800 will help out. Another thing is that this sensor is the sensor from the A7S III, which they went ahead and put in the FX3 as well. And I think it's a great sensor. A big reason this camera will be used professionally is for the fact that the rolling shutter is amazing compared to the A7IV, which is not so amazing. So for example, if I'm filming anything sports related or something that has fast movements, then of course I'm gonna use the ZV-E1 in short bursts, whereas the A7IV is gonna kind of struggle in those situations. The type of work I demand does not account for long form content. A lot of times we are doing short form reels, commercials, things in bursts. So I'm not too worried about the camera overheating. So I guess as time will tell, if I have to make another video on the ZV-E1 in terms of overheating and what the limits are, then I'll go ahead and do that. But for me, I am happy with the purchase. Whereas the FX30 might be good in certain situations, I was willing to take that risk for getting the amazing sensor that comes out of this camera. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and thank you for tuning into the video. This was a short video. I just got the camera, so I don't have that much thoughts. These are kind of just my first impressions and what drove me to buying this camera versus the FX30. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, the link will be down below in the description. And also, I do have a second channel where I live stream. I do gaming, reactions, and commentary to a lot of different things. So that will be the first link down below in the description as well. Go ahead and check that out. This will be it for the video. Thank you.